Well, okie dokie, everybody. Welcome. You are here at the Fox Den with Peter Voss, the Papa Fox, and we are going to start playing a brand new game, Battletech, by Hairbrained Schemes and Paradox Entertainment. I've been so excited about this. I've been looking forward to playing around with big stompy robots for a long time now, and ever since I found out that this game was on, I could not wait to pre-order it, which I did. This is going to be not a blind playthrough. I have my own personal campaign that I'm running through, so I will know a little bit about what is going to happen before it actually happens in this game. So there we go. And this is also going to be a bit of an update video because I have been on a hiatus for quite some time. My wife's been needing some extra help around the house and all of that, and what with being a parent and all, I've had to shift my duties. So I don't know exactly how long, not necessarily how long, but I don't know exactly what my schedule is going to be moving forward. So, without further ado, let us go ahead and start the campaign. This is a turn-based game. If you are familiar with such games as XCOM or the other Hairbrained Schemes games like the Shadowrun series, you'll be well acquainted with the battle mechanics in this. Basically, the idea is that you have these big, giant, stumpy mechs. They have weapons on them, and you go around and do battle. So that's the basic premise. Much broader than that. We'll get into a little bit of the lore later on. I'm going to have to re-listen to this after I get all of the... I will wait actually just a moment.
I am Kamea of House Arano, High Lady of the Oregon Reach, Protector of Coromadir, and the Sword of Restoration. But I am not a hero, no matter what the stories say. A hero would have sacrificed more, compromised less. A hero would have done better. You know this, of course. You were there. My father used to tell me stories about the ancient times, about the Star League, a golden age of prosperity, upheld by the great Mechwarriors of old, guardians of the innocent, protectors of the peace. I always dreamed of following in their footsteps. I was too young to see the truth of things. After all, it wasn't heroism or a noble cause that won me the throne. It was hiring a mercenary, skilled enough, perhaps ruthless enough, to carry the day. Hiring you. I still don't know if you fought for honor or for the thrill of it, for belief in my cause, or just in my money. But whether it was your noble heart or mercenary mind, your actions gave us hope. That makes you a hero in the eyes of history. Whether you believe it, that's up to you.
Ooh, chilling intro. Battletech Restoration. Oh boy, we're about to get in it. Okay. The Oregon Reach is a small kingdom in the Rimward Periphery, a region of space that lies at the outskirts of the more densely colonized Inner Sphere. It is home to the Oregon Coalition, a federation organized around a parliamentary monarchy and ruled by the Arano family. For 3 generations, under the rule of House Arano, the Oregon Coalition has remained a relatively peaceful corner of the periphery. It is here your story begins. Now, you'll see here we get to choose our background, appearance, and confirmation of everything. So, one of the awesome mechanics about this, very similar to how Obsidian Entertainment handled Tyranny, is that when you mouse over these highlighted sections, it'll let you know a little bit more about what is going on. I'm not going to read all of this because I found that in my previous Let's Plays, me just talking about a bunch of blocks of text is not really the most exciting thing to see. And that's actually part of the update portion of this video. I think I'm actually going to leave Pillars of Eternity and Tyranny by the wayside and just continue them on my own. I will create my own saves and everything for them. I might pick them back up again later, but if that's something you really want to see, then please do let me know. If I don't know, if I don't hear anything, then I won't pick them back up again. I will continue on with the Banner Saga, however. So, I won't read all of these, but some of these are fairly important, like the Inner Sphere. The Inner Sphere is the region of space within about 500 light years of Terra, Earth. This area is divided between 5 successor states, the former Star League. This region is the heart of human civilization and culture. Beyond the Inner Sphere is the Periphery. Okay, so, next. And we have the different houses. All of these houses have, or most of these major houses and minor territories have really interesting stuff about them, and the lore behind them is really interesting. And they have the descriptions of mech warriors who hail from such and such are like such and such. Having read through all of these, in my personal campaign, we are in the Magistracy of Canopus, and it's a matriarchy, actually, which is kind of neat. But I think for this campaign, I'm going to choose something slightly different, and we are going to come from the Free League Worlds League, House Merrick. Mech warriors who hail from the Free Worlds League tend to be passionate, enduring fighters who value justice and equality above all else. This is the oldest and theoretically most democratic of the great successor states of the Inner Sphere. The Free Worlds League is actually a broad coalition of many minor noble houses. For most of the League's history, it has been ruled under martial law by a Captain General, who by tradition is from House Merrick. Cultural diversity and relative independence of its component regions are at once the greatest strength of the Free Worlds League and its greatest weaknesses. Okay, next. You are of noble birth, immigrants from the Oregon Reach, your family soon established... yes. So battle mechs, as I mentioned, this is what we have. So battle mechs are actually, they're like durable goods. Imagine if you had a car that could last generations, or a house or something. You can actually have these as heirlooms, which is kind of neat for your family. Okay, by the time you can read some of this text, we basically meet Raju Mastiff Montgomery, a veteran of the Succession Wars, and he's going to teach us. Okay, why 16th birthday when? Of your family, your no. Okay, maybe gunnery and tactics. Maybe we were exiled. I like tactics. What does that do? It reduces the penalty for indirect fire and improves the minimum rate. We're going to go with that. But let's take a look at all the others. Piloting is fairly good. Okay, yes. Tactics and guts. We were bankrupt. Family died. Piloting and guts. Yes. Health and reduces penalty from weapon recoil. Lovely. Family is betrayed. Okay, lovely. Gunnery and guts. I believe I used... I believe I used family was betrayed because I wanted the gunnery. We're actually going to go with exile. Basically, in my personal playthrough, I'm a really good sniper when it comes to my mech. So my main character, I just have sit up in the wayside and just plink at the enemy. Okay. Oregon Coalition Soldier. Okay, Frontier Pirate. Gladiator. Inner Sphere, Mercenary, Frontier Merchant Guard. We're going to go with Solaris Gladiator, I think. You took your skills as a mechwarrior to the famed arena planet of Solaris 7. There you act out a living as a gladiator, fighting for the crowd in minor arenas, getting by from paycheck to paycheck. You were a low-level champion down on your luck and one bad fight away from the gutter, until Raju heard about you. He trekked all the way to Solaris to offer you passage back to the Oregon Reach, and a job in the Voss Arano Royal Guard. So it is that you find yourself reunited with your old mentor, preparing your ancestral blackjack for guard duty on the coronation day of Lady Kamea Arano. Okay, so, call sign. We are going to go with Petra... wait, no. Papa Fox. Actually, we'll go with Papa Voss because I kind of already used these names for this. Okay, so first name Pater, last name Fox. There we go. So we have an interesting combination of things. Now, one of the really cool things about this game is you can choose your pronouns. There's she, of course. There's they, as well as he. And this is actually an interesting thing. I know they've gotten some flack by some very kind of piddly-dink people who are throwing a fit that they included gender neutral pronouns, but I actually think it's a really good thing. I'd like to see more of this in games, especially games that my son might play. I'd like him to think that see that the world is a larger place through the games that he plays. But for now, we are actually going to choose he, just because. Let's see what all we got here. A nice spread of folk. We're just going to pick one. There we go. Next. Alright, gunnery 4, piloting 2, tactics 3. Lovely. And confirm. Oh boy, this will be interesting. Political intrigue. Always a great place for a mercenary to get their start. But yeah, I really do love the customization options, at least that little minor touch to it. Okay, here's the little loading dealy bob. Alrighty-o. Okay, preparing for combat. And this pretty much gives a good idea about how large mechs are to people. This is the Blackjack. It is a medium mech. Now, I used to play, when I was a kid, I used to play Mechwarrior 2, Mechwarrior 2 Mercenaries, Mech Commander 2, Mechwarrior 3, Mechwarrior 4, Mechwarrior 4 Mercenaries, all of that. And after playing through this on my own, this is, I think, my most favorite. Mechwarrior 4 Mercenaries will always have a personal place in my heart, but oh man.
Command interface initiated.
I'm so drawn into this game. Okay, now you can move around with just your mouse, but I'm actually going to use keyboard and mouse. So, there we go. Lovely. And then you can use Q and E, of course, to rotate, or the right click and draw. Okay, Papa Voss. I had the Espinosa refit yards rush the repairs on your Blackjack. Looks like it's all in one piece. We should run some diagnostics on it, just to be sure. Standard field tests. You know the drill. More importantly, though, I want to tell you more about that job I brought you out here to do. Now do me a favor and get that battle mech moving. Let's see if there are any kinks in the actuators. Okay, so click on the Mechwarrior's portrait. Press tab to cycle between available units.
I'll come right out and say it, kid. I wasn't completely honest with you the other day. There's gonna be more to this job than escort duty.
Oh my goodness, look at how beautiful this is. Let's actually see if we can get around to the front. Oh, I love how this game looks. Okay. And we have a cinematic mode. I'm going to leave that on just because I think it's entertaining. If I'm playing by myself, I might actually not leave it on. Brought you here because there's something wrong in the capital. It's been too quiet since High Lord Tamati's funeral. Worried about Lady Kamea's safety. Anyways, looks like they can check out. Okay, target practice.
Like I was saying, I can't prove anything. but my gut tells me something's off, and a warrior trusts their instincts.
Now, I'm not going to explain everything until it actually comes up to explain things, but basically, here's your list of commands you can choose, and here's your list of weapons and different tactics. You notice you can actually run up and punch somebody, and that'll come into play later. So let's go ahead and attack. And let's go ahead, and you see how much, in this column, look very closely when I mouse over to the enemy, you'll see the hit chance. You'll also see ammo and damage and the weapons selected. Okay. I'm going to collect this one. It's an urban mech. It's a dummy. Fire at the dummy. Oh my goodness, isn't that so satisfying? Each of those explosions.
Enemy mech destroyed.
It's like crushing tinfoil and little cherry bomb poppers in your hand. Oh, good shot. Cool, okay, lovely, thank you. Moving target. Training Lady Arano since she was 14 years old. She can be naive at times and proud, but I have no doubt that she'll be a just and effective ruler. It's on us to see her safely to Cordia City. I'll rest easier when she's in the capital with her cousin Victoria by her side. Lady Victoria, well, she's only been training under me for a single season, but she's already shaped herself into one of the strongest mech warriors I've ever seen. Reminds me a lot of you, truth be told. Okay, targeting computer. See the drone okay? We're going to shoot it again, and then when it turns, we're taking the rear shot at the angle of the armor. So this is important.
Yume is like a daughter to me, and her late father, High Lord Tamati, was a good friend.
So you'll see here in the bottom left-hand corner a little bit of information about your personal vehicle, the mech. Here we have the front-facing thing, so we have our front armor, and then we also have our back armor. So he's going to have a shoot at this target dummy, and the dummy's going to move, and then we're going to shoot at its back armor. That's very important for this game. Unlike games like, say, XCOM, if you're familiar with World of Tanks, you'll be very familiar with this. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire. Oh, and you notice this little bar here. This is very important. It'll come into play later. Let's go ahead and fire.
All weapons committed.
Oh, each of those weapons discharges are just so satisfying.
Victoria pulls no punches, but she's been a loyal companion to Kamea since they were kids. Aside from you, there's no one I'd rather have by my side in a fight.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's go ahead and fire again. Everything. When you fire everything in this game, it's actually the key word, the phrase, is called an alpha strike. So you can actually select what weapons are or are not going to be used. So let's go ahead and just fire. And you see here, this enemy has a little bit of cover from the tree line.
All weapons committed.
There you go. And you see a little damage and then a little bit of text about what exactly has been happening.
Enemy unit destroyed.
Nice shot. I don't know how I reckon politics, but the reach was badly shaken by the death. It needs a smooth transfer of power. Okay. Go ahead and fire your jump jets. Jump jets are a key tool in this game. I've never really used them in previous Mechwarrior games or Battletech games, but in this game, they are super useful. They allow you to get high elevation over enemies, and they allow you to traverse impassable areas very quickly. So let's go ahead and jump. And we are actually going... Oh, and this cone of view is where your mech is facing. If you're running, you can only face it in certain directions. But if you're jump jetting, you can face it however you want, and your mech will twirl in place. So let's go ahead and do this. There we go. Blam.
Enemy detected.
Oh, structure damage.
Yeah, I was afraid of that. Jump jets build a lot of heat, and that was more than your engine could handle. Head on into that water. We need to get you cooled off.
And that's also another key thing about mech warriors and battle mechs is that your mech, see here, heat is critical. If you use too many energy weapons in particular, you'll overheat. And bad things will happen. If you have ammo, they'll cook off. Your mech might shut down. Damage will happen to it. Your mech warrior might get damaged and injured. And if you get into water, of course, you can cool down faster. So sometimes you might have to take a break from fighting while your mech cools down. That's important to know. Okay, let's go ahead and get in the water. And to help highlight this fact, I like that they had the mech look red hot in this. Okay, cool, lovely. Oh, for the love of all the gods. That is what I get for insisting on a rush job. Not that I had much of a choice. The Espinosa refit yards were backlogged like you wouldn't believe. It looked like they were trying to process every single Royal Guard mech in time for the coronation. There isn't any time to get your jets replaced, so we're going to have to make do without them. Go ahead and take that mech down with a melee attack. Okay, cool. So remember how I said we had melee attacks available? Or press V to cycle through melee targets. Okay, lovely. I love how unobtrusive the melee attacks, or the tips are, which is kind of neat. So let's go ahead here, and you'll see we have always a much higher chance of melee. DFA is death from above. This requires the use of jump jets, and maybe later in the playthrough we'll see a little bit more about that. So, but for the moment, let's just go ahead and go up here and punch him in the face. Him or her. No, it's a dummy. Punch it in the face. There we go. And boom.
Physical attack.
Headbutt. Okay, that's at least solid. Okay. Once you take your blackjack up to sprint and evade my attack. This is also
Push
very...
that engine, kid. If something goes wrong today, I want to know that your mech can maneuver.
Okay, this is another very important thing. The farther you move, the more evasive charges you will gain. Each evasive charge makes you harder to hit. It's basically kind of like shields that you get from moving really fast. And you can only get it from sprinting, maybe sometimes from moving, and definitely from jump jets. So keep that in mind. You can also use jump jets to make yourself less prone to damage. And this is important, especially for light mechs, which are very fast in just usually. So let's go see how this works. Actually, you'll see here, if we move here or here, there's no little chevrons. If we move here, we got 1, here, 2, 3, lovely. So let's go ahead and sprint.
Full throttle.
Okay. And you missed. Now that's one of the things that I like about this. It's easy to handle evasion in a real-time game. You just avoid getting hit. I like how they added this mechanic into a turn-based game. I think it really makes it intuitive and demonstrates that the faster you move or the lighter your mech is, the harder you are to hit. Congratulations, Papa Voss! Your blackjack's as combat ready as it can be, given the circumstances. Okay, lovely. And he thinks he's being paranoid. Oh, right, I hope he is just being paranoid. Okay, let's get back.
An impressive display, Sir Raju. Of course, this Mechwarrior was a student of yours. I'd expect them to know their way around a cockpit.
Okay. Lovely. I'll go ahead and get up here. And... lovely. Cool. Turn again. And we'll just move right over here. Allow me to introduce you to Kamea Arano, the soon-to-be High Lady of the Oregon Coalition. Is Lady Victoria on this channel? For the time being, my father has summoned me to the Picton docks. I have a fleet inspection and a tour of the family refit yards to preside over before the coronation. Behold the responsibilities of a noble daughter, a font of tedium that never runs dry. I know the feelings, cousin. By this time tomorrow, I'll be responsible for the entire reach. Give my best to your father, and don't be late for the tourney. The gambling dens are already taking bets on how long it'll take me to cripple that customized monstrosity you pilot. Bold words, cousin. The only victory they'll be celebrating is mine. You may be ascending the throne today, but my Kaga is more than a match for that family heirloom you call a Battletech. And in the arena, I reign supreme. We'll see, cousin, we'll see. At any rate, I'll see you at the tourney grounds. So, Raju, I'm ready to go when you are. Overland, along the Cormorant Road, as is the Arano tradition. Aye, Kamea. We'll get you there in one piece, Papa Voss. Fall in behind me. And remember what I told you. Okay.
Mission successful.
Mission successful. We're going to continue on. And we're going to actually start the next mission. One of the great things about the save features in this is you can save and exit whenever you want. Well, mostly whenever you want. You'll see. Basically, you can't have multiple save files. You have one save file that you work through.
I remember the Oregon Reach of old, the time of the Great Expansion. I was just a boy then. Proudly we went forth, bringing the light of our coalition to so many systems. And for what? To see our great kingdom slowly waste away? Year after year, the Council deliberates while our economy falters, and the wolves bay at every door, while covetous neighbors plot against us. Well, I say, it can go no further. We are here today because if Lady Orana will not act, someone must. I know what I'm asking of you. You will face former comrades, or even loved ones, on the battlefield. I take up arms against my own niece. But remember, today we sacrifice so that tomorrow we can return our kingdom to its proper glory, to its proper strength. So should you fall tonight, know that you did so as true heroes of the Reach. To your stations, for the Directorate!
Looks like shit has really hit the fan, huh? Okay, let's get her ladyship safe. Okay, those spherical objects we saw earlier were drop ships. They were not bombs. In case that wasn't entirely obvious, looks like it was because you might have been able to see the landing gear, but I just wanted to clarify. Oh, and salvage right up here. Salvage is very important, so just keep that in mind as well. Okay. Prepping. In battle, speed is life. You go slow, you die. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, so you can't save in the loading screen areas. And when you do save, you save in a single continuous file thing. So, for example, I have one career loaded for, or like one save section for my personal career. And the same will be for this. You can pick up and leave whenever you need. You can save and quit, which is neat, especially if you're a parent like me and you need to step away. So, begin mission.
Command interface initiated.
Going to miss this, Raju. The clarity of purpose that I feel in the cockpit of a battle mech. The simplicity of it. There they are, just up ahead. The city gates and my future. All laid out before me. Wait. What's that smoke? Guard post. One of the small ones that dot the roads leading to the capital. But the emergency band's been quiet all morning. I haven't heard anything about any fire.
This is damned odd, and I don't like it. Kid, keep your head on a swivel and be ready for anything.
Okay, well, we are, you'll see here, forest cover with 24%, does not stack with guarded, so you do get cover from certain things. Outside of combat, your entire lance moves in any order. You can even have multiple units moving at the same time. So, we are actually going to call this an episode now. If you've enjoyed, go ahead and hit that like button, or give me some feedback, if you prefer. You can also take a look at my Twitter at Peter Voss. There I have a collection of Dungeons & Dragons dad jokes and everything, so maybe even a few Battletech puns mixed in. Alrighty, it's great to see you all here at the Fox Den. I hope you come back next time for some more Battletech. Alrighty, y'all take care now. Bye.